Let's come to an understanding. 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 Let's come to an understanding.
Let's come to an understanding.
We are live. What's up, everybody?
Live. Back. We're back. Drew Picklyk here. Amish Patel, always the illustrious Amish Patel.
Yes.
Seeing the world from his mom's house. This is a man who defies quarantine. He
A
defies
throne in my
quarantine.
mother's house.
A throne in his mother's home because he defies quarantine by saying, you know what? The world comes to me. He's a man who says the world comes to me.
And what about that is defying quarantine? I'm not defying any quarantine. Excuse me. Let's not make any accusations here. We are following strict quarantine guidelines here.
I am reporting him to the Ontario Provincial Police.
You better watch it, dude.
Defying quarantine.
Cameron, the listeners of this podcast know that I blocked my mom's car in for 2 weeks because she was talking shit. Like, she's like, fuck this quarantine. I'm fucking driving around, you fucks. Parked her in.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
So that's the story behind this. Interesting.
We parked her in. No, but we kept her. It took her a day or two. She just got back from India. We're like, we're 2 week quarantine. I quarantined her in. So I don't need any of this talk about Amish following quarantine.
Calm down. Come off the ledge. Come off the ledge. Okay? We haven't introduced our guest yet.
Oh my God. Damn. So rude.
Everybody, please give a big round of applause for one of our remote episodes, special bonus episode guests, the hilarious Toronto comic, Cameron Phoenix, everybody. Round of applause.
Yes. Cameron Phoenix. What's up, homie?
Not a whole fucking lot, man.
Dude, that beard is hot.
Yeah, the beard's really coming in. I almost shaved it, but then I doubled down. I think this is the time, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
You have a girlfriend? She's okay with this?
Huh? No, the beard is for it's a lonely endeavor having a beard of this length, you know.
Really?
Amish, we got to go back to the pen system. Me and Amish have this thing called the pen system where we raise a pen so that me and him don't talk over each other because that is a common theme within the show, especially since we've been remote.
It's fine.
So this is yeah. Should I get a pen as well? That's possible.
You might want to get a pen.
Sure.
I'll get a pen. I'll get a pen. I'll get in on this.
Get a pen because we are known to just talk over our guests, man. We're pretty bad with that. So you got to. but we're gonna be great. Cameron, what I love about this beard, what you're saying, it's a lonely beard. I've had this issue before where I start really bringing the heat on it. I'm getting like a 10% from, and I'm talking about from, straight females. I'm getting a 10% buy-in, a 90% just cut it off.
Yeah, but I think the ones that buy in really buy in. You know what I mean? You're a niche market. That's what you got to play.
No, and I've always said on this podcast, 10s who love sixes. That's what we're looking for here.
Okay.
It's a market.
Those exist. I don't
They're
think
out
that
there.
is a market, but that's fine.
I think that's a market. They're out there. The hot, because you know what? There's like very feminine, and then when your beard is hard like that, then they're like, I just want. I'll be the pretty, and then you.
Do you not see the pen?
Drew. Drew, go ahead. I was explaining the point. I was explaining it's a thing.
You ramble. Okay. No, I had a joke. I was gonna say the kind of girl who likes that beard is the type of girl who marries a guy in jail. But I don't know. I don't know if it's hitting. I feel like I've lost momentum.
Well, don't roast our guest. I was building him up. I was saying, dude, this beard is gonna get you some pussy, and then you're like, you're turning it around on him.
It's not a roast. I'm just identifying a type. If he's trying to go for anybody in particular.
Wow, who am I going for? I've been locked in a house for 30 some odd days.
Exactly, right?
So it's kind of like the beard. This is not my primary concern.
I gotta be locked in a house, kind of like someone who's in prison.
That's true.
This is to my point even more.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'm with you, Cameron. So what you're saying is this guy's gonna get some like how everyone when they kill someone and they go to jail, just 1,000 people fall in love with them. You're saying that we can get that effect here. That's great, man. That's a shout out now. You turned that diss into a shout out. That's great.
Well, no, I don't think Cameron doesn't seem like a murderer. He's more like tax fraud, tax evasion. But,
I most certainly do not pay my taxes. I will tell you that. I will publicly announce that here. I cheat on my taxes.
We thought.
Tax evasion. It's tax. I don't have it.
No, I'm too poor. Yeah, like
it's called
they don't
tax.
even...
Yeah, no, I get you.
What were you owing last year? What was your owing?
Owing? I don't owe money. I don't make. Whenever I submit my taxes, they give me money back. I have never once owed money to the government.
You're always getting a return.
Wow.
I'm always getting a return. I overpay. I'm so poor.
That's great. I'm so glad you said that, because I remember doing comedy with someone at Absolute, and he was just saying that, like, he was like, I'm $35,000 in debt, and I'm just gonna declare bankruptcy. I don't have it. And he talked about it like they were irresponsible for giving it to me. Who do they think they are giving me money? Declaring bankruptcy. And he was like, he owned it, he was with it, and I was just like, dude, this guy's on his own, you know?
No.
Like, he's just on his own all the time.
What Amish isn't saying is that is the most successful comedian in Canada working today.
Yeah, how did he get the leverage to get $35,000 lent to him? I don't know how that happens, but...
Oh really, man? They just they give me offers for money all the time.
No. I don't.
I imagine this guy at Desjardins, and they're like, "I'm sorry, sir, but we're gonna have to reject your application." He goes, "Okay, just let me give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 more minutes of your time.
5 minutes.
I'm sure I can convince you. Give me a tight 5 minutes. I'll convince you that I am worth it."
They're just like at Desjardins. Yeah, they're like, he's telling these jokes.
They're just dying on the floor. Like, all right, now $35K, it's yours. It's yours.
That's so good. That's the comedy show, the comic show that I haven't seen yet. There's so many comic shows. I want to see the comic show where the comic goes, I'm gonna be so funny that I'll get shit that I don't deserve. With comedy. Like, he just pushes it to the limit, and they're like, no, but hear these jokes though. And then the jokes are so good they let him out of jail, maybe.
What was he actually in debt for? How did he spend $35,000?
He just, dude, irresponsible living. Cameron, have you not like met even people that are like,
no. We have
1,000 in debt for nothing.
I have multiple bankruptcies in my family. That's why I stay so poor that it's like a stable position. You know?
And I remember, I told Nathan McIntosh. Sorry, I cut you off there. Say that again.
No, go ahead, Amish. No, it's the Amish show.
No, Cameron. I cut Cameron off. Sorry.
No,
I got nothing.
You gotta do.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that this comic, I think I mentioned it to Nathan McIntosh when we were doing a festival, and he was like, who is this guy? Nathan's told me that he has told several younger people about finances. Like, he's said, hey, we're gonna do a day about your finances today. Fucking idiot. And it's just his friends. But he's told me, like, he's had to sit people down and be like, this is how finances work, stupid. You're not going in debt anymore. Dude, people need that. It's a community.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's a pretty obvious one, though. If you don't have that of your own regard by the time you're like 23, 24, you're kind of on your own at that point. It's a cool assessment, but...
You think so, eh? Because they're pushing credit cards on kids. Sorry, Drew. They're pushing credit cards on kids, and it's like, come on. This kid's in debt.
Are you sorry, me?
Sorry, go ahead, Drew.
Because you go, sorry, man. As I was saying, let me just keep steamrolling. Oh my God! I was just gonna say, I know a friend from Montreal who used to work in finance, and he would always be like, listen, man, you can clear bankruptcy a couple times before they catch on. He's like, you got like, everyone has 2 bankruptcies on me, all right? It's like,
hey, Trump does it.
Live high on the hog. He's like, you could just live high on the hog for a year and then just be like, listen, I don't got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a year of nice meals and Gucci belts, as far as I'm concerned.
And what's it going to damage? Your credit rating? It's like, no one's buying a home here. Is anyone ever going to buy a home? I have no hopes of ever owning a home or a car or anything. So my credit rating is dirt. I don't care.
Right.
Just lease.
Just lease. But dude, that's what Donald Trump did. He so in the second episode of his documentary on Netflix, which is incredible, but it's old. But the second episode, he basically does that. He goes in a ton of debt, and then he starts telling them, like, what are you gonna do? Like, they were like, hey man, you owe too much money now. And he's like, yeah, now you're fucked. Like, you can turn it around on people. So what he did with like Citibank or whatever, he just had a mortgage, and then on the line of credit off of his mortgage, he just paid for an entire wedding. And then he's like, yeah. And then he like
Which
lost
wedding? Which wedding? Melania?
I think it was the wedding. Basically, it was the second episode that they talked about this, where he basically was going to lose.
He's had 3 weddings. He's had 3 weddings. Which one?
It was
one of his
second
kids' weddings.
No, it was the second one.
Was that Ivanka?
I think it was like a Marla Maple.
Ivana,
Marla Maples.
Ivana.
No, but there was Marla Maples in between. There's like the model woman in between.
Oh, Marla Maples. I thought Marla Maples was the first. No, you're right. Marla Maples is the second.
He
cheated on the first one.
Because then Tiffany.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, he's had such a storied career. You forget about that, right? You forget about all the things he's accomplished and done before becoming the president.
But he's a guy that, like, at that level, he's the kind of sociopath that's like, I don't give a shit about debt. Fuck you. You owe me money. Like, he just he flips it on people so much. He's like he'll borrow it and then he'll be like, nah, you fucked it, didn't you? Now give me another $2 million or else I'm not going to build it. Like, he puts people in that spot. Or he'll just go bankrupt and won't pay anyone. Like,
Amish, this is a scathing expose that Donald Trump is unreliable.
We got him. Case closed.
Hey man, I'm just saying. I'm just saying this guy's 23. I'm just saying this guy's 23 in a ton of debt, and he's just screwed, man. He doesn't. His parents aren't like he was just he's a great guy. He was pretty responsible.
He's 23. Whoa.
He's 23 and this declaring bankruptcy at 23?
Yeah.
You can't be pretty responsible in other ways, might I add, if you're 35 grand in debt. That's the most irresponsible.
I don't know. Maybe it just sounded like he had no kid. But it just sounded like maybe he grew up like not being taught that that's a thing. I'm just saying. Like, let's just say you're 18, 19 and you start getting handed credit cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you're like a little wild with it. And then you don't have anyone there. You're 20. Like, don't you guys meet 19, 20-year-olds that you're like, hey, you need to go back to your parents' house for a little longer. You're too stupid.
Mm-hmm.
You're not a functional adult.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, when I was 18, I worked 2 busboy jobs throughout that last year of high school.
Yeah.
And I saved up $5,000.
Wow.
And then right before I moved to Montreal, where I went to school, I was like, should I put this in a savings account or should I live large? And I live large. I decided for the second. I was living on my own, and I was like, you know what? My shirt's dirty. I gotta go to the dry cleaners. And I was dry cleaning like no tomorrow.
That's what living large is in your world.
You had a diamond earring, a dangling diamond earring on one ear, and you're like, you
know what it was?
I'm good.
It was drinking a lot of Le Bat 50, Les Gros 50. Dive bars, and then getting dry cleaning. And then by the end of the year, I was broke. I ran out of my $5,000.
By the end of the year, that's not really living that large, though. $5,000 for a year.
I don't know. I thought I was doing well. I was 18. I was 18.
But also, Drew, like I would imagine that at 18, like, you know, your parents are watching you, man. You're not just on your own. Like, I think some people are born.
I was like a province away. I was the next province over.
No, both. I knew about the possibility of bankruptcy because both my parents have been bankrupt multiple times. So now, I was on the financial lookout.
And they did it when they were probably in their 40s and 50s with kids and whatever.
No, 30s.
30, but I'm just saying a 22-year-old.
Okay, instead of steamrolling, let's let Cameron tell us about those stories.
Tell us.
Those are interesting stories.
Let's hear.
They're not particularly interesting stories. We lived far beyond our means, and my father was a stockbroker, and he lost it all on the stock market.
Wow, Cameron, what a story!
Right now,
I'm so glad I shut up. That's incredible.
No, like, what's an example of living beyond the means? Like, what's something that comes to mind?
Well, like, we had a house that, like, when I was like 6 or 7 years old, we had an indoor pool that we had torn out so we could put an atrium into our home.
Oh my God!
See, that's pimp. That's pimp.
Yeah. Long story short, we didn't need that atrium. I'll tell you that much.
Your dad made an atrium. You know why he believes though?
There's no birds in an atrium. It's just a glassed-in area, isn't
it? Cameron, your dad is like my daddy.
I heard apiary.
Apiary.
We didn't have that kind of money. That's next level.
I was like, wait a minute. Was your dad the penguin?
No, but Cameron, my dad had big aspirations like that. He's always thinking big. He's dreaming. He's always got some big stuff going on. I had to go through his computer recently, and the amount of people selling him like scam stock courses.
He's buying them. He's buying these things.
Well, he's gone now. May he rest in peace. But
Okay.
Yeah,
let's just say before, like towards the end, like we were having issues with like, okay, dude, you can't sign up for a get rich quick scheme, or like this guy's just trying to sell you bullshit. Like he would tell me about like, Amish, there's a stock investing class. You take this, you're making $1 million, then you do your acting. And I'm like,
yeah. No, that was what my dad would say something similar. Yeah.
Right?
I imagine your dad doing it like it was like scratch lotto tickets, where he just like did a course and he's like, nah, it didn't work. Okay, I'll try another one. It didn't work. No, give me another one. No, it didn't work. I need another.
Well,
my dad always said that he always talked about how you only have to write one hit single and it can finance the entirety of your life. And he wrote a song called "I Drive a Truck." That was a country western song.
Oh my god,
that's pretty awesome though, is it not?
Yeah, I don't even. It got recorded. I couldn't bring myself to listen to it. Most of his like artistic pursuits, I never, I can't do it. You know.
Oh my god, Cameron, how old is he now? Is he like?
Oh no, he's also dead. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, they were
It's a common element amongst dreamers, apparently.
Yes, hello, brother.
You get a plan, then you're dead.
Yes.
You're generally dead on the heels of it.
Cameron, you were with me. You were with me the night my dad died, actually.
Really?
Yeah, you remember me and Amy Cunningham ran into you at that
Yes,
thing.
with my friends, and it was fuck. What was that?
It was
Blanche Nuit.
Nuit Blanche.
Nuit Blanche.
Nuit Blanche. Sorry.
Blanche.
Yeah.
So yeah, we ran into each other there. Okay, so I think it was either that morning or 1 week that morning.
Oh shit!
But it was either that morning. Yeah, but it was like right there, man. And but yeah, when it was an issue with, and then even now on the Let's Come to an Understanding podcast, I'll be clicking around on some like scams, some pickup artist people just to talk shit about them.
To learn.
I know Drew's gonna come in with he's getting pickup artist tips. I'm watching the video to rip on him, dude. So just watch it. Don't listen to this guy. But anyway, Let's Come to. I don't know where they came from. The Let's Come to an Understanding YouTube channel. It's fully. I didn't go on the pickup artist. Maybe you did it.
Hold on. Amish will often send me messages at 3:00 in the morning of like some sleazy pickup artist guy, and then just afterwards he'll write, "There's a lot to learn here," you know. And
for the podcast, for the podcast, I'm saying, hey, watch this video, dude. They are psychos. It's just great content. You can just play it and talk over it.
Okay, yeah.
No.
But every time I find a video, though, they always have aliens.
No. We can get Cameron on. You start singing a different tune. Amish is often like, he's like, this guy has a lot of interesting things.
But Drew, tell him also that I'll send you a con artist, like a legit. Like there's one guy who sends me like, hey, I just made $6 million on the stock market. I sell him that guy too.
Yeah.
Let's say I just said the pickup artist. See, this is where the trickery comes in.
Are you concerned at all that you are going to mentally deteriorate enough as you get older that at some point those are going to be compelling schemes? I really am worried about this.
Well, here's the thing. The schemes when we're older are going to be, here's what's going to happen. The schemes when we're older are not going to be obvious to us, but will be obvious to our children, right?
Yes, that's what I mean. Because like, I even find now, when you go to like a weird website to like watch a movie or stream a movie and you have to click like the X's, they're getting closer. They almost got me.
I have to be honest, Cameron, with the beard and the lighting here, when you say, when you go to a weird website to watch a movie,
normal movie.
It sounds like
wow. Cameron, do you see what I go through with this guy? Do you see the attacks like that? He always looks for
a corrupt mind. So
he's got a corrupt mind.
That's all he sees.
He wants the pickup artist. He wants the pickup artist. He wants to be the pervert on the website.
No, I think I'm switching teams. I'm with you now on this, I think.
I just hear this. Dun, 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 dun.
Your dulcet tones are gonna get you out of this one, all right?
That's the Law and Order theme song.
Oh.
Hey man,
Special Victims Unit.
We are not afraid of the law. We are who we are, and we have done nothing wrong, Drew. Maybe it's in your closet that is the skeletons.
Don't speak for me. Don't speak for me, Amish. Overly defensive.
Hey, don't attack us,
motherfucker.
Look, man. Don't act like you never ended up on a side website to watch a Phineas and Ferb or some TV show.
Phineas and Ferb.
Or whatever, like a Rick and Morty type of shit. Where are you gonna watch your Rick and Morty, Cameron? No, but Phineas and Ferb is tight.
Wait, Amish.
Don't act like Phineas and Ferb is not fucking incredible show.
Hold on.
It's such good writing. I'm writing kids shows right now. What do you want me to watch?
Amish, stop.
I've never seen it. I just mean it's strange.
Are you watching Phineas and Ferb hentai? Is that what we're learning right now? You watch Phineas and Ferb
Here we
hentai?
go with the attacks. Here we go, Drew, with the attacks.
These aren't attacks.
Can we get some sort of examples here? I wouldn't mind seeing a taste.
These
just
are
to know what we're
questions.
dealing with.
I would love to send you a taste of Phineas and Ferb. It's a great TV show. It's got a great message. It's a Disney class. It's going to go down
for children.
Canon
It's
is
for
one of the best
children.
pieces of work.
Okay.
And it's for children, but I'm writing.
What's happening? Wait, Amish, what kind of website are you going on where you're watching a child show, okay? And then it takes you to something dark and twisted on the dark web. What website are you on initially?
Kids
watching
cartoons.
Some fan fiction.
Kids cartoons.
Fiction.
It's called kidscartoons.tv.
That's a website? Kids Cartoons.
It's called Kids Cartoons.
Kidscartoons.tv.
Kids Cartoons? For a while, that's where you could just go and watch every show, any animated show. They would have it. It was like, but they had like just guys advertising, and the advertisement, that it would just always be clicking. It'd be like.
That's what I mean. And did you fall for it or not? You were quick enough that you could evade it, but in time. You get to be like 45 and you've been drinking wine or smoking weed on the regular for 20 years. Suddenly your mind's not firing. You're clicking through those links. You're fucking leaking money out.
Wait, hold on. Did you say 45? That's your example of old age?
I'm living a little faster than most. Possibly. I'm trying to account for it.
You're getting a little senile. You're 45.
Well, you're going crazy at 45.
No,
you're at 45 when you're just losing your marbles over there. Yeah.
My weed consumption's been higher than I would like during this quarantine period. So
okay.
That is true. By the way, we wanted to ask a little bit about your living conditions. You live in is it a ground floor apartment or a basement apartment now?
It's I'm in the basement, but we have the ground floor as well.
So you're in. Honestly, by the way, with the lighting and the beard in the basement, really selling the image entirely.
No. This is an authentic representation of how I've been living for the past.
You're sitting on a web series for sure. You got a web series character here, like some kind of a prank character. So you got something here you can play with.
Okay.
Yeah, the web series is called You Trying to Pick Up Kids on Chat Roulette. That's what it's called.
Oh, Jesus. Do you think they pick it up though? Or?
Cameron's like, am I getting it though?
So you see it.
No, I think it'd be funny if Cameron had a show where everyone just always mistaked him for that. But he was actually just rolling in tens who love sixes pussy. And that's it. That's the show I want to watch. But Mr. fucking Drew's negative. I think it's possible.
You want to watch a show where Cameron is mistaken for a pedophile, but in reality, he's sleeping with girls out of his league? That's the show that you want to watch?
Hey, what he wants to see.
That's what I want to see, I said. You just want to see a pedophile thing. So once again,
that is true. That is.
What's the issue in his mind? He wants the, I'm looking for the positive ending here, Cameron.
Okay, right. So wait, hold
I gotta say though, Cameron, for me, you're giving me more of a Baba Ramdas feel right now. I feel like you could start a guided meditation and take me into a mushroom trip too.
Okay, well, we'll find a middle road. I'll meet some kids and take them on a mushroom trip of sorts. Right? Possibly that's split the difference.
That's it's writing.
So hold on though. What is it like though living with two other comedians in close quarters during a pandemic?
Yeah.
You've been like a month and a half inside with them now, I guess.
Yeah, thereabouts. It's been great, man. We've gotten along really well. I don't know.
It's good.
It's good, man. We got our sleeping schedules are kind of staggered too, so we're not all awake at the same time. So it's like the common areas are open, and I don't know.
Wow.
It's been good.
What time are you waking up at?
I'm a fucking lunatic. I wake up at like 8:30. I can't help it, Like I'm just up. And
really?
Yeah, and I don't do anything, but I'm up.
What time do you go to bed at?
I don't know, 1, 2. Depends.
That's not bad.
All right, this is standard. This is not like out of control. This
no,
sounds
it's
like,
not
like
out of
what,
control.
It's fair. It's fair. 12-1. If you're doing, I think 2. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
If I'm hitting like 3:30s, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You're not writing now.
Is that what you guys are doing now, though? What time do you guys usually? What's your schedule like?
I'm trying to hit that.
I try to get to bed around 1 or 2. But I've been doing some work and been like on phone calls late at night. The other night I went to bed at 4 and I hated it.
Are you guys working right now? Do you both have jobs?
Yeah, I'm working.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. That's horrible.
My life hasn't changed at all, other than I have to stay in my mom's house. Because after the 2-week thing, I just stayed here. She just makes me food every day. It's actually a good life. I just have writing deadlines. Like I'm writing. I have a development.
Amish's job is called being a good son. His job is being a good son. God damn it.
Is that eligible for CERB or no?
Oh, I'm getting my CERBs too, dude.
Oh, you're getting your CERBs. All right, okay.
Oh, we're getting the CERBs are coming. But
what do you think?
I'm not CERB eligible.
You're not CERB eligible. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Wow. Okay. Cool. I just assumed that everyone was getting that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But anyway, it's been great. I got a lot of space here. And it's a nice life. She just makes me food all day, dude. She's obsessed. She has nothing to do because my dad passed away in October. So for an Indian woman, when the husband dies, it's like a second retirement. There's nothing to do. Like her job was him. He's gone. There's nothing. She's just got to fill the hours. She's just making food for people all day and just going for walks. And that's it.
Nice.
And asking when I'm going to get some.
So where was she going to go driving then?
She's like, I'm independent. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm going to the fucking this and that. I'm starting a business. I don't give a shit. She's
what we call a lady about town. Okay. She's on it here and there.
Yeah, she likes to get out and about. She likes to talk shit to like even like she likes to just go shopping, talk some shit to like an old white man, be like, I'm not fucking paying this price. Fuck you. She just wants to get into a fight, walk away, whatever.
Yeah, she needs to haggle. She needs to go out. You can't haggle at home. You can't haggle at home.
Can't haggle at home, dude. She's got to go out. And she likes to go to the Chinese market too to go cross cultural. Like she's like, I like their techniques, but then I like everyone.
So she's doing a fusion. She's learning multiple styles. Wow.
She learns all the styles, yeah.
I gotta mention something, Amish. I gotta talk about, there's a health food store that me and Amish frequent on St. Clair. And I went in there the other day to buy some soap. I needed to wash. I bought some, the doctor.
You went out just for soap? That's quite irresponsible. But,
very irresponsible.
Well, no, I had.
And he was accusing me, Cameron. And he was accusing me earlier.
No, and I just had to get some soap.
Hold on.
He is walking in and out for soap. Okay.
You're asking why didn't I go? Okay, I also picked up some spinach dip. I also got some spinach dip.
Oh,
okay.
The essentials, of course. Spinach.
The essentials.
And some navy beans.
Oh, you've been setting an app too?
And I had to get navy beans.
Okay. Navy beans is the first good thing you said. Navy beans is the first legit.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
I hope it was a big pack.
Hold on. It was a two location trip also. I also had to go to Shoppers.
Spreading it
around. Please tell me that you didn't just buy a roll of toilet paper at Shoppers Drug Mart. Please tell me that you got you spent $50, you got a bunch of stuff that you're gonna last you all week. Just running around.
I had to get face wash. So I got face wash. And then I went to. Anyway, this is not the one.
You face wash in a soap? Not good enough, man. And I don't need the accusation.
You need to maintain good hygiene. You need to maintain good hygiene during.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Yeah.
No, you really don't.
Reason to maintain hygiene.
You have soap at home.
You need to maintain good hygiene.
You're inside. Who cares?
There's no reason for the face wash. There's no reason for the face. Turn the light off. No reason for the face wash. Turn the light off.
I have.
Who told you to turn the light on?
I have sensitive skin. Okay.
Drew, I got a question for you. Do you think that we're going to have a form of universal basic income after the CERB runs out? Ultimately, will I have to have a job ever again? I'm hoping for no.
Okay, I will answer that question, but let me finish my story before you guys rudely attacked me.
Okay, go do your story. Do your story and we'll come back to it.
But anyway, I was there, and this ties into what Cameron just asked. I was at the store, and I see on the counter as I'm paying for my soap that he has a pack of face masks, a 6-pack of face masks. No, a 5-pack of face masks, $60. $60 for 5, and they were N95s.
That's like the good stuff, right?
So did you say something?
Yeah.
That's the shit you want. That Trump even called that out. Trump said, "Hey, 3M, no more to Canada." He said, "Trump said no more to Canada." This piece of shit. He said, "Keep it in a year only." And I don't know how we got that shipment, but go on.
Yeah, well, there was like piracy even. They were trying to intercept packages from like Asia meant to go to Germany. Like the Americans were trying to like, Germany, we'll bring it to them. Yeah, no problem. Just leave it with us.
They hijacked.
And Germany was like, this is modern day piracy.
Yeah, they called it piracy.
Yeah, like you guys are pirates.
Wow.
But anyhow, I saw this and I looked to the woman at the cashier and I'm like, am I reading that right? $60 for 5 masks? Am I reading that right? 60? She's like, yep. She just kind of like stone-faced me. She's like, yep.
Oh, stone-faced you.
Yeah. And I was like, listen. To be fair, I read the packaging. They were Japanese. So you know that means they're high quality. You know that means that they're good masks. They're not everything.
They've been working on mask technology for a long time.
Okay.
They have a bit of a culture of wearing the mask in Japan.
They love them.
You know?
And they make high-end shit in Japan. That's another part of their culture.
They're probably paying for an import fee. They're probably paying for, the Japanese technological advancements. Who knows? But I was a little aghast. Now, to your question, Cameron, do I think UBI is going to come in? And should you never have to get a job?
Hold on.
I'm never getting a job again. That's already.
Before we go to that, though, I just want to say, Drew, you had to backpedal in the store, just like you have to backpedal in the podcast. Let's continue with the UBI talk now. Hold on. There's 4 minutes left though on this 40-minute.
You really want to tango? You really want to tango today?
No, we're doing great. We got 4 minutes left on this one.
I will take you out.
I just wanted to do a finishing thought on the last story before we go to the next story. But I'm going to cut this now. There's 4 minutes left on this. Drew, you going to call back with one?
Yeah, I'm gonna send another link. And then
Cameron, baby, love you, and just sit tight. We got 4 minutes, so just sit tight with that UBI.
We run out of time on the Zoom because we don't pay for it.
We run out of time on the Zoom, and this is a great time to mention that if the listeners go to budmail.com and use my promo code AmishFlower, you get weed delivered to your house. Help me out.
We're still recording?
You help me out. And another thing you can do is you go to mybrokenhead.com. They do the psilocybin. And if you use my code, and this will all be in the comment section. If you use my code,
oh my God,
Understanding Pod, actually, it's the handle of this show. You will get a discount, and they'll hook you up. They'll bring you right to your house, so you don't have to go out on the street. And
thank you for plugging. Thank you for plugging your own separate, not affiliated with me or the show on the whole promotions in the middle of the show.
No, we're cutting to break.
Not stopping the recording so that we can properly edit
It makes
this.
sense right now. We're cutting. We got to cut these in half.
Drew, do you have promo material or no?
We do promos at the end. Usually,
oh, you have promos as well.
But Amish always slips it in, and I'm not affiliated with these illegal promotions that he's doing that absolutely have nothing to do with a free man like myself who likes to travel internationally.
Hey man, I'm trying. I'm not affiliated with the. I'm not affiliated. I'm an online affiliate. And you see what he does, Cameron? He just turns it into the worst. I don't know them. I just got an affiliate code.
I'm not affiliated. I'm just an online affiliate. Okay, listen.
It's called an affiliate code. I'm not affiliated with it. I'm not in that business, but it's fine. I love them.
Okay. Let's end this recording.
It's saying it's recording on my end. What do you think?
Let go and let God. I don't know.
I think we can let go and let God on that. We're back with Cameron Phoenix talking about universal basic income.
I want
Very interesting.
That's how I'm weighing in. I would like it.
Yeah.
We're back. Well, Cameron, but here's the thing though. If you get UBI at like $1,000 a month, that's like $12,000 a year. Like you still need that's no money. Like can you stretch $12,000? You think?
I'd like to give it a spin. I'll tell you that much. I think I could give it a go.
Would you?
I would no.
Sounds miserable.
Well, I could supplement it a little bit. Like.
Drew, this guy should be applying for grants. Look, Cameron, you look like someone that they look at your face and they say, give him a grant.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
What the hell does that mean?
A writing grant, dude. This beard, don't waste it. You need to get on the 10 Who Still Have Sixes radar, and you need to get on these, because, dude, even when you go to the Writers Guild party, this is good, man. They like this. They like this beard. It's sexy. It's a good look.
Can I just say,
it's all about beard, apparently. Yeah.
It's the
Speaking of writing, Cameron, we have a lot of fans of the show, and they'll often write in. And there's been one fan in particular out of Jacksonville, Florida, named April Montbleau.
Okay,
and
but
she's been featuring a lot of her short story writing, and a lot of it has to do with the show. She actually just sent me a new piece, Amish.
Did you turn your camera off?
Yeah, did you turn your camera off?
I had to exit out of the show for a second so I can.
You
read
just
this.
were. Oh, okay.
Oh, because he's reading this from. Yeah, so I thought it was erotic fiction. I guess it's just short fiction, but this from one of our fans in Florida, dude. That's. I'm very excited about that.
Well, this is so Cameron. A little bit of a backstory here. This is the follow-up to a story that she wrote about a month ago called "Spring Awakening in the Great White North." This story now is called "Spring Awakening in the Great White North" Part 2.
Oh, I see a trend emerging.
Someone cares about me. That's it. You know, that's okay.
It's a coda. The last one ended with Amish. Did you sleep with your fan? There was a fan from Florida who comes up to see Amish do a show, and they end up sleeping in a hotel room. So this is the follow-up.
And this is erotic fiction?
It's erotic fiction about Amish, primarily.
Yep.
And this is primarily what your show consists of, is reading users erotic fiction about Amish.
Hey, Cameron, if they send it in, you got to read it.
Okay, fair enough.
You got to read it.
I wrote some erotic literature of my own. We'll get into that afterwards, but I'd like.
We would like to.
All right, when someone writes it to you about you, hey.
No, that's true. You got to read it. You got to read it, and you got to jerk off to it, quite possibly.
Amish, okay, you ready?
And then that's correct. Yep.
Here it is. Okay. We had just started to passionately kiss on the old couch backstage when he stopped to ask me if I would mind if his co-hosts from the podcast join us. Ooh.
Oh, this is Bruce again?
I casually nodded in agreement as to not appear overly eager. However, I was extremely excited to have Drew Picklyk join us. Oh, God. Something about the way he asserted himself on the podcast made me believe that he could take charge in the bedroom and get the job done. He walked into the,
you moved in on
real? Is this actually real?
I swear to God.
This is real.
Did you write this yourself?
No, she's from Florida. She's
He's
great. She's turning on me, which I don't like. I don't like that a fantasy's going a new direction. Not crazy about that.
She's having this fantasy with you, but she needs someone to take charge because in the fantasy, you're not focused enough.
Let me get through the story.
Okay.
He walked into the small room moments later and formally introduced himself to me. He was even more handsome in person than I had to resist the urge to rip his clothes off right then and there. He requested that we discuss a few ground rules before we engage in our menage a trois. After a brief discussion, we came to an understanding that this encounter would be a closed border kind of threesome. That would mean that Drew and Amish would not have any interaction with one another, but instead would focus their attention on the given region of my body. Oh, God. Amish decided he would take my southern hemisphere and Drew would take the north. All three of us immediately stripped down to our underwear. I myself standing proudly, wearing only my bright MAGA thong. Oh, yeah, by the way, she's a MAGA supporter in this story.
Yeah.
Only wearing my bright red MAGA thong. Before I had a chance to rip off the underwear and explore their CN towers, another comedian... Another comedian, Sam Feldman, entered the room and handed Amish a bottle of maple syrup and then left the room. Amish asked me if I would start off by licking the maple syrup off his nipples, because that was the only way.
How does she know about Sam Feldman, though?
She's a fan of the show.
She's a fan of the show. He was on the episode last time.
Okay, all right.
Kevin's like, is this fake? You don't have fans. You guys have fans? This must be fake.
Okay.
We have fans, baby. We got so many people in Arizona.
All right, let me get through the story, goddammit. Let me get through the story. Amish asked me if I would start off by licking maple syrup off his nipples, as that was the only way he could get his hockey stick ready for the game. Later that night, I would come to regret that decision, as I flossed what seemed to be a never-ending amount of maple syrup-encrusted chest hairs out of my teeth. While Amish was attempting to find the answer to the age-old question, quote, how many licks does it take to get to the center? Drew ventured up my northern passage and presented me with a sizzling Canadian bacon, oh God, which I aptly devoured until he released and spread his thick poutine gravy all over my Rocky Mountains.
Okay.
Drew left the room to clean himself up as I turned my attention on to Amish. Quote, my eager beager is wetter than Niagara Falls and ready for your massive log, Amish Patel. I shouted as I climbed on top of the sex beast of a man. It wasn't until the video went viral that I came to discover that the video camera in the corner that Amish claimed to be turned off was live streaming artists.
Wow.
Whoa, she doesn't think very highly of you, man, that you would do that to her. That's a real breach of trust.
That's a real breach of trust. And but
it
it speaks highly of her that she knows that I have a camera in the corner of my room. And we joked about that.
Oh, God. Okay, hold on. The video became an overnight success and was properly titled, quote, "Let's Come, C-U-M, to an Understanding."
Yes.
The After Dark special.
Woo!
Although Amish never found success in the porn industry, Drew went on to star in several feature films and even inspired a new category of adult films. Sexy men with glasses jerking off while reading the news. Wow. Guys, I think that might be...
That's
that
beautiful.
might be her best story today. That might be her best story today.
That was incredible.
Frankly.
How many
that
have
was
she
a third.
written?
That's a third. That's a third story.
Third story, yeah. And they're all based on the podcast.
Did I ever tell you about my erotic literature that I wrote the one time? It was a very good premise. Here it is.
Well, I'd like, first of all, I'd just say I'd like you to top that. But go ahead.
Oh, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I never finished it, but so it was Halloween themed. I was going to enter a competition. It was a Halloween themed one. And it was about a bunch of fishermen on a boat in the middle of the ocean. And at night, a woman appears on the boat randomly, right? And they're like, where the fuck did she come from? Where could she come from, right? Oh my God. They go to sleep, and then one lucky sailor ends up having a sexual encounter with the woman who's appeared on the boat. And then when he wakes up in the morning, everyone is dead.
Whoa.
Pretty good.
I like it. So wait, when did you write this?
I believe I was in second year of university. I was trying to enter an erotic literature competition, which I had a long-standing bet with a roommate about, and I lost that bet.
Why? You weren't entered into it, or what? What happened?
I said I would win the competition, and I did not.
Oh, you didn't win.
I did not.
You did win.
I did not win. I did not win.
That wasn't a W.
No, afraid not.
Not a W.
I did not win.
Cameron, we are kindred spirits. Are both with the fathers thing, but also I've been trying to write erotic literature for years.
Oh,
you both.
For years. Yep.
For years I've been trying. Yeah. No, it's just one of those side projects that never gets done. But I did order.
And now you have erotic literature written about you. Look at that.
Now I get it written about me, and this is how the universe repays me one way or the other. It says the erotic fiction will be there, and that's it.
The last short story was about how I was trying to kill Amish or something like that, or I killed Amish in Amish's
dream
nightmare.
No,
a meditation. It was a meditation sequence, and I ended up killing Amish in the meditation sequence.
Where was
she does her research good. She does her research.
Sex in there?
The last one wasn't erotic. No.
So it's not all erotic. She writes just general fan fiction.
The last one was not erotic. It's fan fiction, I guess. It's fan fiction. Yeah.
And she's a Trump supporter?
No. Drew tried to accuse me of. He was like, this guy will do anything for pussy, including just go to a Trump rally and act like some kind of, I don't know, he was making some kind of accusations.
It wasn't an accusation. I asked you a simple question. I don't accuse, I ask questions. And the question I asked was, would Amish go for if she was into it, and he was into it, at like a mid-50s Trump supporter, from Tampa, would Amish see himself dating someone like that? And he said,
dating.
Yeah, awesome.
Oh my God, dating.
And I almost called that.
He said yes.
And I said, no, I didn't. I said, that's an entrapment question, first of all. Why are you trying to entrap me?
How's that entrapment?
It's an entrapment question because even on the podcast, you're trying to make it look like, this guy's into Trump shit. You know what I mean? You're trying to entrap me. Anyway, April got it.
You have your own narrative.
Don't tell me the narrative. Look, April sees through this and she knows what's going on. But I was just gonna say, in trying to write erotic fiction, I remember I bought this book of short stories on Audible called Space Raptor Butt Trilogy, and it's by this guy Chuck Tingle. Have you guys heard of Chuck Tingle?
No, I have not heard of Chuck Tingle.
Of course,
incredible. So he has books that are like he has books that are like fell in love with a space raptor and got his load in my butt. A Space Odyssey by Chuck Tingle, and he does these It's so good. Anyway, I'm ordering it. They're really funny. Like they're erotic fiction.
It sounds good.
No, it's like gay erotic fiction, and these guys just straight up they'll fuck
That's
like
not
any.
gay, man. What's gay about that? I mean, it's a raptor.
No, it's but the
raptor.
raptor.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
so the
more
raptor
bestiality.
character.
So wait,
No.
does gender transcend species?
Yes. No. They're doing a male consistent in the species on another male in the species. But this is an alien raptor race, Cameron, where they basically had our consciousness, but they had these like jacked ass fucking raptor bodies. So the guy's on a spaceship. He's lonely. The space raptor comes, and they're just like kind of hot though. They're just like kind of hot though. And then
this might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
I don't like it.
It's called the Space Raptor, but dude, he's the most prolific, maybe erotic fiction writers of our time. Chuck Tingle, check him out. He has a whole series on Trump. He has a whole series called "I Fell in Love with Trump." He calls Trump Drumpf. He's like, "I fell in love with Drumpf, and now my asshole is orange."
Where do you get your
a political sex odyssey by Chuck Tingle?
On
You get him on Audible. You can get them everywhere.
It's also not a sponsor.
I used to go to a place called Literotica. That was where I did my
Where was that?
Italian.
Where was that?
It's a website called Literotica. I believe it's I don't know if it's still around. It's been a decade since I've been there, but check it out.
You would go on to read stuff, or you would go on to submit?
A little bit of both, you know. I was
okay.
I have an open window, you know. I'll take
he appreciates the art form.
I didn't know. You know, I don't know.
Cameron Phoenix, erotic fiction writer.
Yeah, I didn't know much about Cameron's history with erotic.
Well, you
fiction.
if you want to write good erotic literature, you gotta consume good erotic literature.
That's it.
Right? Garbage in, garbage out. That's what I'm trying to avoid.
Cameron, that's our sitcom. You know, like we'll have to start working on a sitcom about like an erotic fiction writer because where is it? Right? Where is it? What a good character.
Yeah, I love that pitch. So it's about two best friends who live together and write erotic fiction.
Dude, imagine you're the bangerest erotic fiction writer of your time, and it's just like a dude. They'd love you.
They live in a 1-bedroom basement apartment with no windows.
Hey, I've got windows. I'll have you know.
He's got windows, Drew. Don't
windows.
This guy.
Hey, this is fiction. This is fiction. I'm not saying it's about anybody in particular. This is fiction.
I know some of my friends used to model for the cover art too. The cover art is very tight on an erotic fiction. It's almost like silly. Like as a comedian, if you wrote like a perfect joke, that would be the real storyline and maybe the real cover. You know what I mean? Like it would be it would be a fun thing to do for comedians. Because those covers, man, I know some girls that do the covers and they're great. And they're a little inappropriate. Money? They make money cover modeling for erotic fiction. Yeah, it's
how can an erotic fiction cover be inappropriate?
You know what? A lot of kidnapping fantasies. I gotta say, a lot of kidnapping fantasies.
Like aliens running away with busty women and whatnot.
Even 50 Shades of Grey. Like it's like all about it's like BDSM, which is fine, but it's like you know, it's weird. I don't know. I started it, and it's like all like. You own me, master. Like it's a weird, like sex play like that stuff.
You just said it was fine. Now you're saying it's weird.
I'm gonna say it's weird. I
don't want to judge.
It's fully weird, and I'd like to judge. I think.
I don't know. I don't want to judge, but if you're glorifying like kidnapping someone and then they fall in love with you, I don't care if it's erotic fiction, or whatever genre. Maybe don't.
I got this fetish called Stockholm Syndrome. I don't know if you've heard of
Dude, that's like 20% of them. 20% of the erotic fiction
market.
Much,
it involves me.
That is true.
Because locking them in my basement for years until they love me.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. What's the fetishized like hot version of that? Like, let's just say you're into that and you're some hick. How do you see yourself in your head? You see yourself like that fucking 50 Shades of Grey fuck. This guy's like a millionaire, but then he likes to just tie her up and do all this weird shit. I mean, it's possible, but it's probably like
he didn't kidnap her though, right? It was like there was consent.
I think I never read this stuff. She works for him, right? Is that how it is?
I believe so. Which is there's a power in
it's an HR nightmare.
It's an HR nightmare, dude. No, she works for him and he negs her. Hey, where's the cancel on this shit? The girls are watching this. Where's the cancel?
There was a lot of issues with 50 Shades of Grey. Dude, I do remember a lot of people not liking it.
I think it's culturally relevant enough to cancel at the moment, though.
Well, they're slated to release 6 parts. Cameron.
No,
they're slated
way.
to release 6 parts.
They don't have two.
Three.
They don't have 2 more of those.
3. They have 2 more. Really? Yeah. Hey
no.
man, you know Avatar. You know the James Cameron movie Avatar. They're slated for like Avatar 9.
Yeah, but that stuff's hot as fuck. So
it took 20 years to make part 2, but they have the dates, and sure.
Wait, where is Avatar 2?
It's coming coming in Christmas, but now it's going to be pushed back maybe because of Corona. But I think, it was coming this Christmas though, 2020. But then he's very ambitious. Then after that, it's like every 3 years. But maybe they've figured out their process.
I think they filmed a lot of them at once. By the way,
I think they did that too.
I didn't love Avatar. I'm gonna say
Avatar sucks. It's a piece
dude.
of
It's
shit.
called Unobtainium. Hey, write it something else. Come on, you can't call it Unobtainium. Find a. Oh, am I glitching out? Who's glitching out?
We did that bit once. No one's glitching.
No, it was laggy for a second. My connection is unstable. That's what they're saying. I think it's done now.
Okay, cool.
Are we still recording, Amish?
Yeah, we're still recording on my end. But Drew, you were saying that you did this joke already on the podcast with something about this. It's called Unobtainium.
We had a little riff about it. Yeah.
I mean,
the worst part of that film is, when the exosuit pulls out a knife. Do you remember that? There's a guy in like a giant robot suit, and then he has a giant robot knife. And it's like, why would a robot have a knife? I couldn't get beyond it.
All I remember about that movie is Giovanni Ribisi playing mini putt. That's all I remember about Avatar.
That's it, eh? That's the whole thing. It's got a good message. It's very.
Giovanni Ribisi plays mini putt.
Is he a Scientologist?
I don't know.
I believe so, yeah.
He could be part of that crew.
Did you know Scientologists? Scientologists are known for their mini putt game. Cameron.
Yes.
There's something I was reading today, and I wanted to ask you and Amish about it.
Yeah. And then we got to come back to UBI.
The coronavirus.
Oh yes, UBI.
And we will come back to UBI. Well, this again. We'll tie it all up. But there's been issues with getting things from China now, and since it was shut down for so long, and people are saying the supply chain was all messed up. People, I've been reading, and this is what they're saying. They think India is where all the manufacturing is going to go to. Like the new world manufacturer is going to be
Jai-ho, the Hindu will rise. The Hindu will rise.
Amish is a Hindu nationalist. if you're not aware.
Yeah, hey, don't say Hindu. I'm proud of my people, and China's been fucking with them for long enough, and it's time to take down. China needs to be attacked, and that's it. Break it up. That's it.
That's a
Break it
wild
up.
proclamation.
Break it up. They are living under a dictatorship. They're not following any kind of international protocol on this stuff. We have to be very specific here. Of course, the Chinese people themselves are under. They are under his duress.
I just don't want to manufacture anything. That's all I know. As long as I don't end up manufacturing.
India will do that.
Nobody's saying attacked here. Nobody's saying attacked here.
India will do that.
I believe that's exactly what he did say. But
Mira Bharat Mahan. They have 80,000 square kilometers of Indian land. They've occupied it since 1962. It's time to go back home. Tibet, go back home.
Oh man!
Enough is enough. They have.
Do yours,
Okay, I'm not a Xi Jinping supporter. I'm not a Xi Jinping supporter. Sorry, guys. You guys are on pro Xi Jinping.
You're gonna lose your weed promo now. I believe.
This has been like
take that from you.
This has been what
because I don't love Xi Jinping. What's this?
Oh, I don't know.
So this is what. This is what the UN would classify as a can of worms.
Okay.
Amish, I don't think China should be attacked, but I do agree. Yeah, they do have a horrible human rights record.
And this is fully supporting the Chinese people. Obviously, I don't think we should call the virus the China virus. I think that was a big mistake by Trump. Don't call it the China virus, but separate the two and say, like, this is a government that is that has too much land. They've taken over. They've annexed Tibet. What the fuck? They took. And they're back in North Korea. They've taken 80,000 square kilometers of Indian land. They won't go back. They're doing these colonizing tactics on the countries surrounding India all the way into Africa. Well, because it's a dictatorship. You got one guy ruling the country, dictatorship. It needs to be broken apart.
Calm down.
One second. They should be attacked.
One second.
Economically.
Economically. Jesus Christ.
It's just economic.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Because India, we're saying, is maybe going to take their place, right? Going forward. Maybe China's not the superpower.
India will rise.
The West starts throwing their weight behind India. My question to you, though, is with someone like Narendra Modi in power, all right?
Yes.
Who is running a little bit of that Hindu nationalism.
Okay, and obviously he is out of control too. He's being a maniac, and I think that's a waste of time. And I tell my brothers all the time.
Power? Isn't he trying to stay there longer than he's trying to stay in the prime ministership for a while now?
They're so into him that they're just like give him 20 years.
Why, they're doing away with term limits or something?
Yeah, he's making those kind of moves. Maybe.
That hasn't happened yet. But
I don't think they have a term limit though. Like Canada has 4. I think he's just gonna run through like 4. They don't have a term limit. He's just like so popular though. Everyone loves him, and like my family, like younger people, I'm hearing some dissent. I'm hearing some people be like, "This is crazy." Like he is just racist a little bit. Like he is just.
Who's he racist to?
Islamophobic. He's an Islamophobic.
He's Islamophobic. So he is using this opportunity to be like, okay, we're gonna, and they say this too at their secret meetings. They say like, we got to cut down the poppies.
Oh, so you acknowledge the secret meetings? You finally acknowledge it. I've been trying to get this out of you for months now on the show.
I got to get the inside information so I can roast him, but that is wrong.
There are secret meetings. Thank you.
Have you been working on your impassioned finger wagging? That was good.
I know. Hey, look at this guy.
He's doing it.
I got it. I learned it from Amish. It's very Indian. It's a very Indian thing.
Hey,
brother.
My Modi number one. Modi. They love Modi though. That is scary. How much they love him, and like he is just doing some wild shit. Like he's doing. We discussed a bunch of his stories on the show. Dude, some of them are like are so petty. Like he found a temple that was, I guess, like, okay, so there's a mosque, and a bunch of people just like ran it over and said no, it was a Hindu temple first. So they spent 10 years, they closed it, spent 10 years doing a test on it, and then now they're like, yeah, it was Hindu first, but like 400 years ago.
Doing a test? What do you mean? Like looking at soil samples and shit?
They did like, they did because underneath there was maybe like a Hindu thing inside or whatever. So they did a test of both, and then they were like, yeah, I guess it was Hindu first. Like, but dude, like 500 years ago?
Yeah, no, that's at some point you got to be like, possession is 9/10 of the law or 8/10 of the law or whatever it is, right? It's like
you gotta move forward. You gotta let it go after a while.
Your words, not mine. I didn't say that. That's not my place.
Gotta be honest, Cameron. With that beard, no one is surprised to find out you are a big fan of squatters' rights.
It's true. I tried to squat once. They wouldn't have me.
Really? Tell us about that.
No,
I want to hear about that.
When I was in London, I like went to look at a place, and it was like a squatting deal, and it would have been nice. I tried to get in there. It was like £300 for downtown London, like zone 2.
So
it was pretty fucking nice.
People were already squatting?
So what do you mean squatting deal?
Huh?
What's a squatting deal?
Well, essentially they had a room in a squat, but they were like charging rent, and there was some sort of system to make it work. But
squatter. So the king squatters, they almost made their own capitalism.
They got their own little thing. Yeah.
They got their own little capitalism. The king squatter said, no. It's like, pay your rent, you piece of shit.
It would have been sweet though. It would have been sweet, but they went with somebody else over me. But that's fine. I'm not bitter about it.
We're not bitter.
No.
Man, if you applied now, you'd get in, dude. They'd let you now.
With the beard, I think they'd let me.
With this beard, you're in for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So Cameron, UBI, what do you think you could do with 12 grand a year? Like you're trying to make that last.
I don't know if it's
why is it 12? Why not 24?
That's not a great number. I think the 2 is a bit high. I could deal with 14. You give me 14, I think I could live off of that. That's the number I've been backing.
It's that $2,000 that make or breaks you, eh?
Well,
that $2,000 makes or breaks you.
If you give me $2 grand, I'm living like a fucking king for the rest of my life, and I'm not doing a goddamn thing. You know what I mean? That's
No, you'd start doing stuff. Come on, that's gonna be bad. Cameron, pretend you're gonna do stuff, or they'll never pass it, dude. You gotta pretend I'll still do stuff.
A better chance.
I will not do anything. I'm gonna be honest about it.
Cameron, you're gonna be a comedian. You're gonna fill out your grant applications, and you're gonna start making money. What are you talking about?
Cameron, let me say this. I think we have a better chance.
You're not going to live on UBI for the rest of your life? You're going to...
Amish. Hold on, please.
No. Hey,
I figured something
out.
out. I'm fucking around.
Put the pen down.
Go ahead. Go.
I think you have a better chance of never doing stand-up again than you have a better chance of getting the UBI, personally.
Really?
I think comedy might not be a thing anymore after this is all said and done.
Yeah, I've been
As
giving
we've
that some
known
thought.
It'll be a shift. Why would it not be like stand-up comedy will never happen?
Well, just
because who
grouping
knows
people,
who knows how people are going to want to hang out.
like, how are we going to, what's the structure? You
And
know,
for
how
how
many
long?
people are going to be allowed to gather? Like, they were saying, oh, you know, under 50 people, like, oh, you could go to the corner or something, and there's under 50 people, and it's like, yeah, but they're fucking on top of each other. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
the density is so high in comedy clubs. It seems like the worst possible thing to have in a pandemic.
Wow.
And they just said today that China has seen a new wave of infection because they had a kid come back from New York where he was studying. He had it. Now he's been giving it to people back in China. So now it's the America virus. The America virus has come to China.
USA
Yeah,
virus.
but we don't know their numbers at all, right? Like, China stopped reporting numbers. They've been, I look at the New York Times, like, fucking
Another
table.
reason.
They've been at like 83,000 for like, I don't know how long. I'm on board. They should be attacked. I'm going to say it. No, I'm.
Look, just economically.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ.
Economically, like, sanctions have to be put on them, and because even their own people are suffering, man. The guy's a dictator. Like, he's vicious. He's too powerful. Too much power in the hand of one person, and he's going to be in for life. Like, Modi's going to squeeze in another 3 more elections. Fine. He's going to squeeze in 3 more elections, and then he's going to have a friend of his run the country, maybe.
I'm a devil you know better than the one you don't type of guy. You know, let's just leave everything the way it is, and I'm doing pretty well. I just like that UBI. That's pretty much all I want, and then I'm good to go. You know,
like, give me money. I don't care.
Yeah,
just let me sit around for a bit. What's wrong with that?
I mean, I just don't see it happening forever. Like, you're gonna.
Okay, so Cameron, you have no strong opinions on the freedom of the Chinese people, one way or another.
I'd rather not go on the record with such a thing, but yeah, your words, not mine. You know, that's
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, we support the people. It's
think local, act local. That's what I'm doing. I'm thinking very local, and then I just want money. Is that too much to ask for? I feel like at this point.
No, and I think UBI makes sense right now. We're going to come out of it. I've been saying for a while on this podcast that, and a lot of people I've heard saying that talk about this, that Corona is nothing but a backdoor to communism. There's all these people that are like, we're going to come back.
I hope it is. The backdoor is the best part too, you know. And we get communism, backdoor communism. Oh my God.
Backdoor communism. That's Corona. Yeah, because we're gonna come out of it, and we're gonna just have a lot of people that are like, okay, so I guess we didn't really need your job. There's gonna be a lot of jobs like that too, right? Like, we do have a busybody economy a little bit where we're
but I think companies always use the economic downturn to fire people. Like, even if they could still keep you on, they're going to be like, the numbers aren't crunching, and we're going to let you go. They're going to try, a bunch of companies are going to try to trim fat. I mean, listen, you only work if you can make someone else money. Like, most jobs are based off of, can I make another person money? If not, then I'm out.
Well, I just think there's going to be a constriction of the economy, and everyone's going to make a little bit less across the board. And you have an entire demographic of people who a little bit less is not enough to live off of. And I was in that category beforehand. I would like free money. That's all I'm trying to say. You know, it's either that or like, I can't go back to work. I was working as a waiter. Being a waiter is not an option anymore, at least in the foreseeable future. So it's like, I'm going to need some degree of subsidy. Or else I'm not saying I'm going to riot or something, but I'll look for opportunities is what I'm saying.
Well, Jagmeet Singh was saying, Jagmeet.
Jesus Christ. Okay, Cameron, first of all, it's a good help. You're going to come back. It's fine. You know, we don't need to, don't, the threats, not a good look.
I'm not making threats. Whoa, China, got to attack China over
like,
here.
hey, man, better give me money. A lot of idle hands get together and might do something crazy.
Hey, I'm just saying, that's the way it seems to go. I'm not planning it.
That does make sense.
Honestly,
general trends of history.
Hey, man, if you don't take care of crowds of people, like, you just got to take care of them. You can't pretend that
Cameron, I don't think it's a good look for you to be saying that with your Karl Marx beard. Okay, wearing your red sweater.
Red sweater, wow.
It is a symbolic sweater.
Well,
backdoor to communism.
This is your right.
Cameron, you got a bit of a Jagmeet Singh beard, and Jagmeet did say he thinks everyone should be getting the CRB, not just people who've been laid off. He thinks that I should be getting a taste. And listen, Jag Meat, I want a taste. I want a taste. I'm not opposed to a taste. I want a taste.
Yeah, you're not even getting served, you know. That's
I got a HST tax credit in the mail the other day. I like that. That was
you don't know how tasty this free served money is. Once you get on it, you can't get off. I can't go back to working. Are you kidding me?
Oh, so you got a taste. So you got a taste.
Oh my God, I've had 2 tastes now, and I would like to have more than that if possible.
Okay, so we're hearing it firsthand. Someone who's getting
excuse me, sir. Yeah. Excuse me, sir. Could I have some more? Excuse me, sir. Could I have
that's what they require of me. I will grovel if that's the amount that's coming to me. I will do that. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, you know, Cameron, at some point you're gonna find out like you're doing more work. You could have just done that work into the comedy, and then maybe it'll just make money too.
No,
right?
no. I'll do comedy is not work. I don't consider it work necessarily.
No, but it is.
There's no money in it. There's no money.
There's no money to be had. I just don't want to have to work an actual fucking job. Writing jokes and then saying some stupid shit in front of like 20 fucking dumbasses in a room. That's not a job.
No, not that. But I'm saying the writing stuff. Like I can see you. You got a good beard, man. You come to that
beard, yeah.
You come to that Writers Guild party. They're gonna be like, put him on. You know what I mean?
Where's this guild? How do you get into the guild?
It's the guild, darling. All of us will be in the guild one day. But right now, I'll show you my.
Yeah, Cameron.
This
is how.
This is the Writers Guild, Baba.
You got a card?
Yeah, they sent me a card.
It's laminated.
It's laminated.
It's big time too. Oh.
This guy's not kidding around. Well, Cameron, you said you were working on like a book or a short story last we spoke.
Yeah, I've been fiddling around with a couple different outlets. Nothing's really taken yet, but we'll see what happens.
Cool.
All right. Keep plodding away.
So essentially, my dad wrote a novel, and I'm assuming it's terrible. So I'm going to read his novel and annotate how bad his novel is. That's what I thought.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah,
that sounds it's like a legacy thing.
Yeah, it's like maybe the two of us in conjunction can form the effort of one good man writing. You know what I mean? Maybe
it's got sitcom written all over it.
Exactly. Well, yeah, possibly.
But a comedy book about life.
I don't know. I have no idea what it is, but we'll see.
I think we're coming up to the end of the episode here.
Yeah, we have 6 minutes and 24 seconds left. They're kicking me out again, these Zoom fucks. They used to give us the gift. They used to send us like, hey, you got a free gift. Talk as long as you want. Now they're 40 minutes.
Yeah, but they've caught on that we're freeloaders, and I don't think that they're loving it.
Why? Is there like an extendo version you can pay for? Where you get,
they're asking me to upgrade. Yeah. I don't even want to click on it because then they'll start advertising to me. I want to make sure that we're only getting pickup artists and these financial scam sociopaths because the ads are so funny, dude.
Okay.
It's great stuff. I send it to them. I'll send them to you now, Cameron.
Oh, please do.
Are we
you want to say something?
Yeah, Amish, I do. Oddly enough, I
Go ahead. Don't see a pen.
Podcast.
Don't see a pen.
You don't respect the pen. I gave up on the pen.
Is that a pen? What is that? That's like what is it?
It's an incense bomb.
Well, this is the issue.
Okay.
This is the issue.
Yeah. Anything you want to plug, Cameron? Anything you want to shout out?
I will be in my basement for the next 3 to 6 months, presumably, and then I might be out in public once again. So keep an eye out.
Okay, look out for him in the streets.
Yeah, I'll be in the streets.
Yeah, and we'll link to his Instagram. You are on Instagram and stuff, right?
I don't really do anything on there, but sure, link away.
Okay, cool.
We'll link to his Instagram. Yeah.
We'll just.
And Amish, you know what? I want to give you a shout out because I don't even think you know about this thing that you did.
Tell me.
Amish is on a show on the FX network in America or on Hulu online. What we do in the shadows.
Yeah.
You're on that.
Yeah, I was on.
It's just premiered. It's just premiered. So watch out for Amish in a special guest appearance. And what episode number are you in?
Thanks, buddy. Thanks for looking out. Yo, Sandiford sent me the trailer. I'm in the trailer for sure.
Fuck yeah.
And check out the trailer on YouTube.
Yeah, Cameron, there's money, baby. You'll make it. Don't worry.
Okay, sorry. I'm skeptical. I'm used to living in poverty. I'm just looking for free money. I didn't even know that you could earn it.
There's a lot of money out there.
I think I support the UBI, but also like it's just I honestly think the UBI goes out and people will be like, okay, you'll start it, and then in 6 months
You want to taste.
you need
taste.
You need that safety net, and then from there you can be a king as you're meant to be. That's what I think.
Amish is all about those tastes. Amish likes a taste.
Hey man, you can't leave people hanging like this. That's why I was even saying about the 23-year-old who's like 30,000 in debt. When he told me, he's like, they shouldn't have given it to me. They're irresponsible. I was like, you got a point.
That's true, but it's like
he's like the first 20,000. I was not even 20 years old. I was like, you got a point. And now it's all interest on the first. Like this kid's
but
just
I mean, kids.
But people are in much worse situations than this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about student loans?
I had 40 grand in student loans when I got out of school, and I never really thought about that, and I figured a way out of it. So it's like it's a hard lesson to take.
It is a hard lesson.
23, but it's like people don't listen anyway. So it's like you can't tell that shit to somebody. They have to fucking get 35 grand in debt, work their way out, and now they know.
I think they have to work it out, but I do appreciate that Nathan. Shout out to Nathan McIntosh, incredible comic and incredible supporter of the community. When I told him about this, he was like, "Yeah, I've sat down like 4 people to be like, fucking fix your finances," and it works, man. Some people just don't know, right? Like we treat people like, "Oh, you just like, oh, figure it out. What are you, stupid? Just pay back the money." They're 23. I'm not saying like it's impossible. Of course, they can get on their feet. They can do it, but better to give them these resources to get out of it. I'd say.
Okay.
I'm just saying, it seems like, how do you catch that guy before it happens? Well, I'm not talking to 20-year-olds.
We can all find out more about Amish's financial advice on his YouTube channel.
UBI, big supporter.
That's the takeaway. Support UBI.
Support UBI. It's not going to make everyone lazy. It's going to be great. It's going to be great.
And you can find out more about Amish's financial advice on his YouTube channel, how to make money and pick up women.
Hey.
All right, guys, that has been our episode.
That's our show.
Thank you so much, Cameron, for coming on and doing it.
Hey, thank you guys.
Thanks,
this has been Let's Come to Understanding Quarantine Edition.
Yep.
Thank you so much, and we'll see you at the next week's episode.
I'd like to get involved in that erotic literature if possible. If somebody can add me in there, that would be nice.
Let's work on something, man.
We'll make it happen. All right, thank you guys.
Let's come to an understanding. Let's come to an understanding. Let's come to an understanding.